This is NFTCulture. I'm Pio, and I'm here with the very talented digital artist Xenia, better known as Browntopink. How's it going?
Good. Thank you for having me here. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Really excited to get a chance to speak with you. So you are in Spain right now, and you were telling me a little bit about, just like your artwork and some of the themes that are there. I always like to kind of start with identifying somebody's creative beginnings. So can you talk to me about the earliest days for you as a creative, when you got started as an artist and just, every detail in between then and how you got to where you're at now?
Yeah, sure. As already informed, I'm originally from Eastern Europe. So I've been living there until I was 13. Then I moved to Spain. It was more of, I started to create when I was a kid because my mom was into art. She really liked it. So, of course, each kid likes to create. You do a lot of drawings around the whole house. But, of course, when you grow and you start feeling that you actually like it, that it's something that you want to do, you're actually being told that there's no future in it. And coming from Eastern Europe, it's something that they all think that if you're going to be an artist, you're going to be homeless, without money, do nothing. So this is what they have the image of an artist. Moving to Spain, I actually started to do more art thanks to my teacher. She was amazing. She's like, you have to do it. You're really good at it. So I started to do a lot of canvas painting, be it more surrealistic painting, more of minimalistic painting, but it's more of expressing myself. Since I was a kid, I was more of not getting outside, not having friends. So this was my way of expression. I was not talking too much with people, but like that, I was like, hey, this is what I am, how I'm expressing myself. What am I doing? So of course I was starting to do all type of arts. I have my home full of my drawings. I love it. It just makes me feel happy. And it's actually a disconnect when you start to do art. So since maybe 13, when I moved, I started to do art regularly at home. I had my artsy room, my disaster artsy room, where you have everything around and you try to experiment. You put a little bit of oil painting, you put a little bit of spray, and then when you see that it's fine, you're happy, you just enjoy it. You put a lot of energy in it, and then while you have it hang on the wall, you just enjoy it while you're just in your room. So, of course, I didn't know how to get into art because I wasn't in any community. I wasn't speaking a lot with people. I wasn't showing my artsy side outside of like uni. The most artistic thing I did is actually I studied for architecture. So it was more of where my teachers could see that I'm doing art, is creating amazing buildings, designs. But I didn't follow that path, so I'm not working at that at the moment. But right now, joining the NFT community, actually joined it in December 2020. It was starting to showing myself. If I'd had to do this interview in December, I would definitely say no, because I was a really close person. I couldn't speak with people because like, oh, what are they going to think? What did I say? Oh my God, I'm not explaining myself correctly. Now joining the NFT community, it's definitely the best thing that ever happened to me, because like, here I am, this is me, this is what I do. Everyone is so supportive. I was really actually lucky that I didn't have anything bad in Twitter, bad comments or bad critique or someone hating on my art. So it's so supportive. I joined in December thanks to, it was actually really, really nice. I liked a picture, actually a drawing from a girl from Spain. Her name is Sarah Lynn. It actually was because I didn't have Twitter. I didn't use Twitter at all. She had it in Instagram. And I was like, okay, the no retweet, how do you call when you post something from Instagram that you like, actually in the Instagram files. And she was, she's actually she sells NFT and in the blockchain Artex. It's a crypto gallery. So she's like, do you want to join? I was like, of course, because I knew about NFT, but I didn't know how you hop in. How do you go in there? Where do you start? Like, yeah, you do art, but where do you start? And then Sasha, who's the CEO of Blockchain Artists, like, do you want to join? Really like your pieces. You do 3D. I started to do 3D 3 years ago, but I was not showing it to people. I was just posting it sometimes. I was not feeling really secure about what I'm doing. People gonna like it or not. So it's more doing it for myself. But then when I see there's like people saying, yeah, we like what you're doing. Do you want to show it? So like, yes, please. So I minted my first work there in December. It was a surprise when I saw that it got a bid in few hours. So of course I sold my first NFT in the hour. So like, okay, it's amazing. And then you start basically building bit by bit. More people, you post your pictures, you post your art. You're like, yeah, I will like what you do. What do you do? What do you do? Why do you do that? Of course, I got some critique. Why do you do nude? Because some of my models are actually nude. So why do you have to show the female body like that? But I always answer, basically, all that you see in my art is naked female body. You're not looking at my art the way you have to look at it. So it's not only that, you have to look through it and understand the meaning of it. So yeah, after 8 months, I think after December, I'm into art. I'm still in NFT. I love it. The community is amazing. For a start, I've got a collector who actually said, join the EGAH. I don't know if you heard it. It's the art gallery auction house. It's an amazing start. You go in there and you have a lot of people just talking to you. If you feel sad, if you feel like a bit of FOMO, if you feel like, oh my God, I don't feel like talking to anyone today, you just go there and you get this boost of energy and you just go create. It's just an amazing community that is there to uplift you and say, you can do it, go for it.
That sounds amazing. And so, I think it's really interesting that you started off, traditionally like illustration, canvas, painting. And so I'd love to know what inspired you to get started with digital art, specifically 3D, and how did that kind of transition take place?
So as an artist, I have a lot of things in my head that I want to do in a reality. I want to see on canvas, but I don't do this realistic painting. So I have the image in my head. I'm like, okay, how do I do it? And then I felt this frustration that not being able to put it on canvas, on paper, to make this world real, to make my fairies, because I do a lot of fairies, to make worlds that don't exist, to make wings, to make angels. So the whole point started like, I need something that could make me get this out and make it real there. And this is what 3D actually did. I started to learn 3D 3 years ago. I started to see that it's possible to get the world that I have in my head and get it out there so people can see it and understand what exactly they have at the moment, what I feel at the moment, what do I want to express. So basically, it's more of not being capable or able to do it with actual painting, because I'm not as good at painting real models in life. But 3D gave me this possibility to be free to actually get what I have in my mind and to get it in real life. See, this is what I have there.
That's fascinating. And was it challenging? Like, how challenging from a technical perspective was it to move from, painting on canvas to these 3D skill sets that you have? Because I'd imagine it's just, it's apples and oranges, right? Like, obviously your creativity can go into the 3D work once you're there, but I have to imagine that developing that technical skill set was a challenge. So could you talk a little bit about that?
So I'm a type of person that I don't like to watch tutorials and say like, click there, go there. So it took a lot of time for me to actually understand what each button does. So because I'm using ZBrush to model, Blender, and then Cinema 4D. So of course, it's more of, okay, press this one, it's working, press this one, I like it. So it's more of, it took me maybe 6 months to understand each thing's what you can do and then how to get this real skin, because before I didn't get this real skin. So then I suddenly pressed a button. It's like, oh my God, this is how it works. So it's just being creating and just every day, because I do almost every day a piece. It's more of getting to know with what do you work right now. And at the moment, for example, I've started to do the 111 days. So I have one piece per day. They're all really different. So what you see on Instagram is my daily pieces. So it's something that helps me to learn more. It's good to do it every day because you learn more. So if today I learn how to do these wings that you see right now, tomorrow I'm going to introduce it in a different model. If today I learn how to use a specific color on how to put the sun to get a specific color and lightning, then I'm going to use it tomorrow for another piece. So it's a daily learning. I cannot say that at the moment I know everything. So it's just experimenting. It's getting new textures, new models, new light types. So it's always learning. It's still challenging sometimes because I may be in a half of I'm doing half of the piece and then suddenly I don't like it. And I have to cancel everything because it just is not what I have in my head. So I have to cancel everything and restart again. And then you don't press the right amount of colors, you don't press the right amount of light, and again, it's not what you expected. So it's a process of learning from zero again and again every day.
Awesome. And yeah, I can only imagine that, the learning curve must be pretty steep. You talked a little bit about how a theme in your work quite a bit, like something that's, pretty present in your work is like female nudity. So I'd love to know, what's the response been to that? Have there been challenges that you've been encountered that where people are focused on work, and, how to make you feel, and how have you responded to it?
Of course, I received some comments saying, why did you nude, or why do you express the feminine body like that? It's more of, first of all, to understand that each model in my pieces is different. You're not going to see the same model there. I'm not just using the same one. It's creating different models. It's creating different characters. For me, they all have a story. So each model that you see has a story behind. You have to look at their faces. What do you feel when you look at them? Putting clothes in the middle is just adding extra. And I think that will just get your attention from what I want to actually express you. If you just notice nudity, I'm sorry, you're not looking at it correctly. So start again. Look at it again. I actually think the nude body, it's not bad. So I don't understand people that actually get really offensive, like, oh, why is she nude? Well, that's a body. We all have this body. We all, if we take the clothes off, we all nude. So it's something normal. There's nothing special in it or something strange in it. It's just normal. So still seeing how people actually had it in Instagram. Of course, Instagram is the worst in actually showing your works when you have some nudity. So I actually did I did three pieces where like the girls are half in the water and they called signs. And then one of the pieces got banned and I did the man in the water and that one didn't get banned. And it's like, okay, why is that happening? At the same time, actually, that's funny. There was someone who actually wrote me in Instagram saying, thank you. Another white dude making nude girls, it's nothing new. And I was like, well, sorry, I'm not a dude, I'm a girl. She's like, oh, then go for it. I'm like, I don't understand this. Like, why then a guy cannot do it? So it's just art, just to understand that in this type of pieces, you explain what you have in your mind. As well, a few days ago, I explained why I do this type of models, what I want to express. These females have a story. These females are all different. These females are magic. These females are angels. So this is what I want to express of the woman power, in that you can be everything, that you have magic, that you have wings to fly, go for it. But as well, that each of these models is a part of me. If you look at one piece, you can see me in there because I've put something in there, which is mine. An emotion, a sentiment that you can feel, that you, be it good or bad emotion, I want my pieces to awaken emotions. There actually one piece that someone wrote me, I feel uncomfortable when I look at it. Well, that's good. I like it. Awakening emotions, be it positive or negative, being like, oh, I don't like it, I feel disgusted. That's an emotion that you feel, that you're fine. But I think art has to be awakening emotions, be it good or negative. And I don't like to explain my pieces in terms of what I wanted to explain with this angel piece. I want you to find your find your way or your idea what you understand by this piece, because maybe I'm gonna put something in your head that you didn't see before, and you may not like the piece the way you liked it before that I explained it to you.
For
But
sure, for sure.
in general, having I didn't have any bad comment or any critique about that, more of nudity. But in general, I was lucky to face really, really good people in NFT, having really, really supportive people in NFT.
Well, that part's definitely great to hear. And so I'm also curious, before I got exposed to the NFT space, I wasn't as familiar with like 3D digital art. Like I really didn't have a foundation in, kind of being familiar with the different artists that are making it, the origins of it. When I look at your art, it's 3D models, and there's some other artists that we've interviewed on this channel that also do that. So I'd be curious, like, do you know what the origins are of that? And are there any creative influences that you looked at when you first started, doing 3D art, like other artists or other examples of similar styles of art? Like where did it come from for you?
Of course, we always see it before we start something. You see it before it's in someone, or you just see something similar and like, oh, I would like to do something similar. But I've never. So of course, before starting NFT, I was already following Fukrender, Billie Eilish. Chewy Stoll is my favorite. Has amazing, amazing pieces. Of course, something new that you start to learn is the typical model, bold, faceless model that you start creating with it. That everyone, if you just get to see who does 3D, for sure someone used the basic modeling and did something that I think you have to go through this process. Of course, you can get inspired from what you see, but I think each of us, they see something. I can see for credence models, but I'm like, I'm going to do something that it's more myself. And you just more get inspired on what exactly do they use. Oh, they use Cinema 4D, or they use Blender. Let me use that and get to see what I can do with that. So it's more, I don't know where it's coming from actually. I feel now guilty about that. And you asked whether like, no, I didn't get more information. But really it's more of seeing that someone is capable to do 3D. You get to see what are they using. So every time I see someone posting a picture, hey, this is my setup. I don't care what 3D you're doing. I'm gonna see what setup you have. How is it? Is it something that I can do? It's going to get better for my works. I've seen someone having a new RTX. I'm like, I want this NVIDIA GeForce RTX for myself. So I can do something that's really looking amazing, like your pieces. Of course, it's not copying the pieces, but it's just getting inspired how the artists are in this world and getting more like tips from them. Of course, you cannot talk with all of them at the time, but getting tips of how are they doing it and what tools do they have, so you can use them as well.
Definitely, definitely. And that's interesting to hear what artists, some of which are already notable artists in the NFT space, have inspired you. So, you mentioned you've been doing 3D at this point for about 3 years. So, how do you think that you could see your style developing, over the next 3 years or over the next year or longer term? Like, what direction could you see your artwork going in from here?
From here, actually, I'm still gonna keep doing my models. This is something that I'm gonna keep for forever. I think I cannot say forever, but something present there. I really, really enjoy doing fairies, so I think it's something I'm gonna keep for myself to keep continuing doing that. I really like to bring new things, so I cannot say, yeah, I do fairies. I'm gonna always do fairies. Different colors. No, I like to always bring new things in my pieces. So yesterday, for example, I did a mushroom. I never did mushrooms, but yesterday I did a girl who actually had a mushroom head, and actually I liked it. So I cannot exactly say where am I going, what I will be doing in 5 years, but I could definitely see that I've evolved so much in these 3 years. Actually, I've evolved so much since last year that I was doing different type of art. It was 3D, it was models, but if you see it right now, you can see so many details. I've went to do an actual piece. When I do a piece, that's something that nobody knows, is if I have a piece with a tree behind and a fairy. What I actually did is the whole part of the park. So you have everything. So you can actually travel around it, but all you can see is now it's a picture is what I presented to you. But if I do a room with the bathtub, what I actually do is the whole room, and then I just focus on the bathtub. So it's more creating worlds, and I actually think and I hope that in the future I can be capable to show you the actual world and the rooms that I'm building. So you cannot only see one side, but see everything. So like that, I can say, hey, you can come in and see what I have in my head, and you can come in my world. Not just see one part of what I want you to see, but you can see everything from my world.
Well, that sounds like really cool. I can't wait to be able to check out some of that stuff. And that actually reminds me a little bit of some of the work that Blake Catherine has done, where it's completely 3D. You can look, 360 degrees in any direction. So yeah, I think that would be like super cool. So yeah, so I guess, what new work can people look forward to? Obviously you drop new content on Instagram all the time. Where can people find you, and what should people look out for?
So now I'm still finishing my 111 days. That now I think I'm doing the piece 70, 77, 78, I think. As well, I've started the project to do each month. It's called the Zodiac Project. So what I do is basically how I represent zodiac signs. So each month I do it. So I plan by the end of the year to actually sell them as a pack. You can find them at the moment. I have minted pieces of the zodiac signs in the blockchain artist. As well, I have some in the foundation. They all have the name of Browntopink, so you can find me there. And at the moment, I'm more focused on finishing my 111 days, on getting on a new level, and actually getting more NFT friends, of course, because this is the most important things at the moment, is to getting more support. I think this is something that helps you to create more, is getting more support, because if you don't get these people around, they're going to be there like, I love your art, do it more. And then if you need help, like, hey, do you like this color, or should I change it? They're always there for you. So this is just amazing. But for now, I cannot say I have. The plan is to still be here, basically being an NFT or not. I'm gonna still be creating. I create almost every day. All my pieces that I create, because I cannot leave it for tomorrow. All my pieces are done day by day. I don't do the pieces like, let me do it for 3 days in a row, a week. All my pieces are done the same day. So the ideas are flowing. So if I cannot plan something for tomorrow or a piece for tomorrow, because when I sit down, the ideas coming right now. Even if I planned it yesterday that tomorrow I'm going to do a fairy with the pink glasses, today I just don't want to do it anymore. Today I want to do an angel. So it's all about keeping in touch with me, seeing what my mood is for today, and just wait for what I'm going to bring it to you. Usually it's during the day or in the evening, but I'm always going to bring a new piece for you.
Awesome. Well, everyone, make sure that you follow Browntopink on Instagram. That's at Browntopink. You can check her out on Rarible, other platforms as well, Foundation. Thank you so much for joining us for this interview. We'll pay attention, and obviously looking forward to seeing more content from you. Thank you so much.